Pope Leo XIV. A name that just weeks ago didn't exist and now, it's making history. On May 8, 2025, the Roman Catholic Church elected its 268th Pope. For the first time in over 2 millennia, the papacy has gone to an American. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, originally from Chicago, was chosen by the College of Cardinals to lead the world's 1.3 billion Catholics, and with that, he became Pope Leo XIV. This isn't just a headline, it's a historic shift in the identity of the Catholic Church. Let's break down why this moment is monumental, who Leo XIV is, what he stands for, and how his leadership could reshape the Church for generations to come. Robert Francis Prevost was born in 1955 in Chicago, Illinois, to a devout Catholic family. He joined the Order of St. Augustine as a young man, a religious order known for its emphasis on community life, education, and intellectual tradition. He earned degrees in both civil and canon law, and eventually began missionary work in Peru, in the 1980s. His time in Peru would define him. For over 15 years, he worked closely with indigenous communities, building parishes, resolving social disputes, and advocating for the poor. Fluent in Spanish and immersed in Latin American culture, Prevost became a dual citizen of the U.S. and Peru. In 2015, he was appointed Bishop of Chiclayo in northern Peru, and in 2023, Pope Francis brought him to the Vatican to lead the dicastery for bishops, a powerful office responsible for selecting bishops around the world. That position placed him at the very center of church governance, and within just 2 years, he was elected to the papacy. The election of an American pope was once considered unthinkable. For decades, the idea was off the table due to political sensitivities. The Vatican has long avoided choosing popes from global superpowers, especially the United States, out of concern that the pope might be perceived as politically biased or aligned with Washington's global interests. But the 2025 Conclave broke that mold. Leo XIV's election suggests that the cardinals no longer see national origin as a barrier, and that they are prioritizing spiritual leadership, pastoral experience, and global perspective above geopolitics. This also reflects a church that's evolving, one that recognizes its future lies not only in Europe, but in Latin America, Africa, and Asia, and that leadership should reflect the full diversity of its faithful. Choosing the name Leo XIV was no accident. It draws a direct line to Pope Leo XIII, who served from 1878 to 1903. Leo XIII is remembered as one of the great reformers of the modern papacy. He was the first pope to formally engage with the problems of industrial society, issuing the famous encyclical Rerum Novarum, which defended the rights of workers and laid the foundation for modern Catholic social teaching. By adopting this name, Pope Leo XIV is signaling a commitment to social justice, labor dignity, economic fairness, and a church that speaks to the real-life struggles of people around the world. He's not only evoking the past, he's claiming a legacy of moral leadership in turbulent times. In his first public message as Pope, Leo XIV greeted the world with these words: "Peace be with all of you. God loves everyone." Those 5 words, "God loves everyone," are profound. They encapsulate a pastoral theology rooted in compassion, mercy, and inclusion. Leo XIV is widely seen as a spiritual heir to Pope Francis, emphasizing dialogue over division, accompaniment over condemnation. He supports many of Francis's key reforms: synodality, which encourages shared decision-making, greater inclusion of lay people, especially women, and outreach to those often excluded from the church such as migrants, racial minorities, and the economically marginalized. While he is theologically conservative on core issues like the sanctity of life and the traditional understanding of marriage, he is known for his ability to listen, build bridges, and find common ground without compromising on truth. Pope Leo XIV is also uniquely positioned to be a bridge between the global North and global South. Having spent much of his life in Latin America and working with communities affected by poverty, environmental destruction, and corruption, he understands firsthand the challenges facing much of the Catholic world. He is expected to focus on empowering the Church in the global South, especially in regions where Catholics are growing fastest: Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Environmental advocacy, in line with Pope Francis's encyclical Laudato Si', particularly on deforestation, indigenous rights, and sustainable development. Immigration and refugees, which have been central to his pastoral concern, advocating for policies that prioritize human dignity. Clerical accountability, continuing efforts to reform how the Church handles abuse, finances, and governance. The news of Leo XIV's election has sparked reactions across continents. In the United States, many Catholics were stunned but elated. It's a proud moment for American Catholics who have often felt like observers in a church dominated by European leadership. In Latin America, especially Peru, there's a sense of shared pride as many there consider him as much theirs as he is American. Church leaders across Africa and Asia have expressed hope that this new pope will bring fresh attention to their rapidly growing churches, many of which lack adequate resources and face growing persecution. In Rome, insiders describe Leo XIV as a man of quiet strength, intellectual depth, and deep humility. While not a media celebrity, he's known for his warmth, accessibility, and ability to build trust behind the scenes. The papacy of Leo XIV is only just beginning, but the expectations are already high. Will he push for expanded roles for women in church leadership? Will he take a stand on the pressing global issues of war, climate change, and economic disparity? Will he heal internal divisions within the church, particularly between progressive and traditionalist factions? We don't yet know, but what's clear is this: Pope Leo XIV is not here to maintain the status quo. His election marks the beginning of a new era, one rooted in global solidarity, spiritual renewal, and moral clarity. Pope Leo XIV is a symbol of change, but also of continuity, a pope with American roots, Latin American soul, and a global heart. He represents a church that is bigger than any one country, one ideology, or one tradition. And in a world aching for leadership rooted in truth and love, his message is refreshingly simple. God loves everyone. That message might be just what the church and the world needs right now.